All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Real Music Observer. My name is Dave, observing real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Neal Schon in this great interview with Michael Cavaccini. I guess I'll use that as a pronunciation. I know somebody will come back to me and say, that's not how you say it. I get that all the time in videos, by the way. It's like, you're saying it wrong. All right, well, the new album is called Universe. I don't know if you could see the picture on my iPad there. Neal Schon looking like he is the universe. His silhouette has been made into a universe. It's pretty cool. Narada, Michael Walden, is producing this, and if you know anything about him, he is a really cool producer. Worked with very diverse artists, including Natalie Cole, Whitney Houston, Elton John. So this is going to pull Neal, I think, in a certain direction, probably more R&B. And they got together, and Neal said, "Hey, can you make me an album?" And they collaborated, and it sounds like a lot of the material Walden put down, Neal basically added his ideas and his touch to it, and you're going to get yourself a very interesting and funky album, as Neal says in this interview. How many songs will be on Universal? Neal says about 12 or 13 tracks. So for you Journey fans, for you Journey junkies, as the ladies were saying in the front row at Journey Through Time, you're going to get yourself some new music. And this, look, folks, I get excited about new rock music that is interesting. And Neal, throughout this interview, talks about how he wants to create. Now, there are a couple other little blockbuster tidbits on here, and I can probably squeeze some of them in on this video. They do ask him a question about Jonathan Cain and Journey and producing new music with Journey, and Neal pretty much holds the line on what was said prior, is that John really had no interest up until very recently, all of a sudden, in creating any new music with Journey. Supposedly it's not the right time. Look, this might not be the right time for Neal's solo album, in the sense that new music for classic rock fans and people who enjoy this type of music, there's not as much of a market for it. That's why I'm here, by the way, because I'm here to continue or keep the torch lit, or however you want to look at it. I know this is a dying breed, folks, and we've got to support these artists. You may think, well, Neal Schon, he's coming out with an album, then it's a guaranteed, million seller. No, it's not. Not in today's marketplace of pirating and downloading and all that stuff. You need to go out and support this. This is going to be a cool thing. But Neal answers the question about John Cain, says, look, he didn't want to produce. I'm putting this music out. He talked again more enthusiastically about Journey Through Time. We do get to hear who the special guest would have been if they had actually shown up at Journey Through Time, and that was John Waite. Now, he was probably my odds-on favorite at the beginning until somebody said, hey, I think it's going to be Sammy Hagar, and then John, I guess, had a private gig, so he pulled out of everything because he was going to make some bank, and this was a benefit concert, so it wasn't going to make your pockets filled with greenbacks or anything like that. So, in any event, it's a great interview. It talks a lot about Dean Castronovo, his comeback. I will do more on this interview because it's that good of an interview. But the point being here is that Neal Schon moving forward rapidly with new music. And I think he's got a vision of the future, either with Journey or Journey with Time. He does talk about, we'll see what happens on tour. We'll see how cohesive these guys are and if things get any better. But it kind of, to me, it's kind of like the train has left the station. You know what I mean? It just seems as though Neal's going to start recording and doing things whether other guys want to do it or not. I think he's got enough of a legacy behind him where he can do this, and people will follow along. I mean, that Journey Through Time concert, people are still talking about that. So, brand new album called Universe. Michael Narada Walden, a top-notch producer. Can't wait to hear what it sounds like, because that combination is going to be very interesting. And if you're a blues fan or an R&B fan, I think you're going to get a real treat listening to Neal Schon on his new album, which he says will be out toward the end of the Journey Def Leppard tour. So we'll look for that. Again, I'll be back with more videos about this interview, Michael Cavaccini interview. It's a great interview, and we'll cover it some more. And I'll be back real soon to do that. Talk to you then.